give you a quick overview of various features and the content management system. So starting from the home page, we have a rotating slide show that is basically running automatically, and you can advance it through this navigation area here. So users coming to the site will see it automatically advance from one slide to the next, and these slides can all be controlled and manipulated from within the content management system. Within these slides there's also a large frame video, and this particular video is running from Vimeo. That's a video sharing website similar to YouTube. Vimeo is free in this particular capacity. There are paid versions of Vimeo as well, depending upon requirement. The only issue with Vimeo's free account is that the video doesn't currently run on tablets or mobile. It does have ad content in it as well, but for the price, I believe, of $56 a year, you can actually have this as a ad-free customizable version of the Vimeo platform. Alternatively, we can put it on YouTube, and YouTube again is free and also works on mobile and tablets. The thing with YouTube that could be more beneficial in this particular case is that the search engine optimization within the YouTube browsing environment is a lot more involved. If you let the video run and interrupt the navigation components here, you notice that it runs to the end of that particular clip and then stops. Elsewhere on the page here, we've got a welcome box, which we've used here just as an about page. On the right hand side, we've got a subscription platform. So one of the things that we thought would be an interesting plugin for this particular site is a call to action, so that other video content locked away in the video and articles area, for example, could be accessible only via registered users going through this particular process. And this process is relatively simple. It's a form that loads over the page here, and if I just enter some basic details, and put in my web address, password, this will actually send me an email welcoming me to the website to remind me of my password that I've entered, and also log me into the back end. Users that have this kind of access are given basic access to the site. They don't have access to the content management system. Once this site has been processed, it takes me to this page, and I can now enter my username, my password. Just to remember this website. And that takes me through to a welcome page. This page we haven't actually put any content on as such in terms of copy. We have elsewhere. In this particular instance, what would happen is that the users would be welcomed to a page which would indicate what assets were available to them and maybe some quick links to reach those assets. So here you can see there's a panel for video, a panel for articles, and we've used articles to represent documents and downloads, and obviously that can be changed to whatever's required. So click on videos. That takes us through to a video library, and any of these controls at the bottom here will access those features. And you can see if I roll over these and actually hit the play button, it will launch a light box which the video content will then play back for me within. Incidentally, this clip that's playing now is a video clip that we created from a case study that we received. We took the PDF and we separated the PDF out into a PowerPoint presentation. We then added some transitions, we added some builds, and we added a soundtrack. So there's actually an audio track of myself reading back content from this case study. And we felt this would be a useful way to actually create and develop content that would have compelling would be compelling and be of interest to users who would want to come to the site to gather and look at content that the Empowering Writers was posting. And this content is relatively straightforward to produce. It's quite cost effective in terms of getting large amounts of content up online quickly, and it has the capacity to draw interest from both YouTube searches, the microsite searches, searches within the subscription area of the site. So as a part of a call to action, for example, the administrator could Twitter about new content being made available on the site, and then that content being distributed through the subscription area, which users would have to register to come and view. So that's another example of how video content is being used here to draw interest to the site itself. The other area is the articles site, which in this case we've actually created a download area, as I mentioned, and you'll notice that we've put in some body copy here just to explain and describe the key areas. Most of this has been taken from the site itself, from the Empowering Writers parent site and so on. A couple of things we've done here as well is that the PDFs that we received have been uploaded, so that if you click on any of these links you can download them from the server. If you were a user coming to the site and you wanted to gather information, whether it's training or resources relative to further presenting the idea of Empowering Writers services, then you could go into this area and download that content from here. The other thing we did is created a keynote file from the PowerPoint presentation. The keynote file is something that will be useful to those that use the iPad for presentations. It will open, if Keynote is present on the iPad, this particular file can be opened on the iPad and presented from the iPad in the same way as you would present PowerPoint from a PC. This may be of use to clients, customers who wish to present this internally to their own board or group in terms of a buying decision. Down here we have a link back to the parent site, and we've termed the parent site throughout Empowering Writers main site, and you can reach the site through that link. And then finally we have a Contact Us page here on the right hand side, which takes us into a fairly comprehensive, it looks quite simple at this stage, but this is a fairly comprehensive contact panel. We can customize any of this contact on the left here, and we can do it on the fly, so we can change that whenever we wish to. We can also add in a whole series of links, useful URLs, social media connections and so on into this main panel on the right here. And this page, like all the pages, is completely customizable. We can actually change the look and feel of these pages on the fly relative to the content management system and whatever content you wish to display. So for example, in this area, if we wanted to use it for attracting users to come and visit the site for the sake of watching a live streaming presentation or a broadcast of some sort that Empowering Writers were going to be delivering, then this page could be used as a subscription panel again, or a call to action, or a means to register interest. So that's the site in its entirety. Go back to the home page here, and you'll notice on the top of the page we haven't got any of the normal menu navigation controls that would normally be on a site like this. And this is because we were asked to try and keep the site as clean and as basic as possible, so that users could essentially find most of the content on the home page. With a minimal amount of looking, they can access other content as well. That content can either be available through subscription or available direct links, which are referenced through, say, a Twitter feed or a Facebook feed. Anything to update someone on the new content available, and then through that approach, promote areas of the Empowering Writers site and then draw users through this site to Empowering Writers parent site. And that's what builds search engine rankings and interest on the web itself, to create further interest in what's available through this site. So we've had a look at the front end of the website, we've had a look at the slides, how the site works. We're now going to look at the content management system and how that functions. And this is aimed at a small tutorial to get you used to how the actual process works. So in most cases we can do this through the login panel. So by clicking login here, I go to this login panel myself and I can enter admin, and my password's automatically stored, and it will take me through that login panel, so through that button on the home page into the back end of the site. And this is based upon the administration privileges that I have connected to that particular login. So from the back end of the site here, once we've logged into the content management system, we're presented with this homepage. On the left hand side you can see a range of tools and options, each of these in a little drop down menu that when I click on the arrow next to them they drop out to show me the options that are available in under each heading. So very neat, very tidy, very simple to use. In fact, a lot of these options will not be available to all, as the permissions level set by the users and how the users are actually established through their profiles controls what they can and cannot access in this tool control. And this minimizes misadventure or mistakes in terms of layout and changes that could affect the front page of the live site. So everything that's done here can be done in real time. So let's start by just having a look at some of the things that we've got access to. So in the first instance it's the media library, where we store all of the images and graphics that are made up on the front page. And in each case, each of these images are titled according to where they appear. So this one is the keynote thumbnail that we use to click on to download the keynote version of the PowerPoint presentation we created. And if we click on the Edit tab, we can see the image there, and we can see the media URL where this piece of content is stored, and any other information. We can also do is reach the pages, and the pages themselves align with the menu options. So from here you can see all the navigation components that we discussed in the earlier video clip that showed the navigation or the tour of the site. From here, for example, we can go into the home page. We can make changes to the content that appears throughout the site. Some of this looks a little bit daunting in terms of how the actual layout should be. In actual fact, it's pretty straightforward. What you're seeing here is what's called shortcode. Shortcode is basically applied via a shortcode generator, which down here is a little drop-down tool that allows me to create columns, boxes, add video clips, and so on. We can go through that in greater detail at a later stage, but just by clicking Visual here, you can see that HTML instantly changes into readable and usable copy and text, and you can see how everything works there. So you've got, for example, at the bottom here the links that show how things like the buttons work on the actual navigation. You can see how the bars appear in the copy and how they appear on the site, and you can see the copy itself as we've kind of established it. So we've got the welcome copy there and so on, all of which can be edited through a text editor or separate page and then implemented into the page itself here, all of which can be previewed separately to the website so that we can actually make changes, look at them before we implement them, all of which can be actually saved as drafts should we wish to apply them later or a later stage. I have other things to look into here just whilst we're on this page. Whilst we're looking at it, we've got the range of features and drop downs and controls that actually control the look and feel of the page and the consistency of the page throughout the site. We've got shortcode generator, page layout controls. We can add and close off widgets into sidebars and so on, all of which we're not currently using in this particular page, but gives you the idea of the customization that's available. We can control stage galleries, we can put in different styles of gallery, we can apply 3D effects to the galleries, we can change where the gallery source comes from. For example, this one's coming from homepage sliders of images stored here in this particular space, where we actually have a set of predetermined clips or images and video clips that combine together to make the 5 slides that you see on the home page that come past in a time delay. Again, there's Art's video clip there being loaded in from Vimeo, times 25 seconds, which is the video length, before it passes on to the next image. The template has a range of customizable components to it, including the ability to change the skin of the template relative to what the requirement is. So if we wish to do multiple versions of this site, we can, for example, change it to a different look and feel that I've applied here to this particular preset. When I go to the home page now, you see the preset has changed the background to a different style, and you'll be able to see that instantly once that's saved off. This is the kind of changes that we can apply to the content management system that make a effect on the front page as soon as we save those settings, and certainly to give you an idea of how to manage the pages and put new content into the pages, all of which is simple, straightforward, and very easy to do.